2 hours, 16 minutes, 57 seconds is the time for the 26-year-old Neve. A big win in his hometown, a PB and a trip to an international marathon of his choice are his. The gutsy Gary Hand has pegged back Derek Frood at the 40k mark and then outsprints him over the last 2 kilometres to grab second place. Frood comes home third, a minute 45 slower than his winning time last year. He's to run 9 minutes faster later in the year, finishing 9th in the New York Marathon. You don't necessarily feel disappointed at being beaten in a marathon, but if you win, you feel very satisfied.
I was very pleased the way it went. Felt good all the way. Felt very tired over the last few miles, but I suppose it's understandable.
When did you break away from that group? There was about 5 or 6 there halfway through the race.
About 16 miles at the start. I started to get away a bit.
Anybody try and keep with you?
Well, I noticed the pace quicken up from about 13 onwards, and the 3 of us were still together at 16. And I just sort of sensed that, you know, I had to continue on with it a bit, so I just kept on going and built up a bit of a lead, which luckily they didn't overhaul.
A strong New Zealand representation is evident as 36-year-old Bruce Blair follows Frood home, followed by another much younger Kiwi, 20-year-old Dallas McCallum running his first marathon. The well-trained marathon runner's recovery rate is quick, even though he may look less than well at the finish. 10 minutes after finishing, Gary Hand tells his story.
Yeah, there's probably half a dozen of us started to make a bit of a break and got away from the rest of the bunch, and I think we shared the lead a fair bit until probably about 10 mile, and there was probably about 3 of us then, and just Derek following himself. Then we sat together for the next 5 miles, I suppose, and 6 mile, and then there was a little bit of a break. Colin made a move, and it was a winning move. That was enough to get it far enough away from us, and we just couldn't catch him.
My poor preparation has caught up with me. David Pygel from Nike has joined me at halfway, but his encouragement is losing its impact. The last few K are really going to hurt. 2 hours, 44 minutes 11, Nairi Drake hits the line to win the Avon Women's event. She's attended by American women's marathoning pioneer Catherine Switzer, who is representing the event sponsor. She's 3 seconds outside Judith Hines' Canberra record and has come in with the sub-245s rather than the sub-240s as she'd hoped. But she's won and she's happy.
I'm very pleased, I must say. Yeah, I had my doubts there. Probably about halfway I seemed to be going for perhaps more a time than a win, but the second half it was just hang in there. I really sort of lost quite a bit of time in the second half. But, it's great to win anyway.
Great to win. It'll be great to finish.
Has he got that Di Castello look?
It hasn't been Judith Hines' day. 7th placing in 2:52.39. She's in good hands. I wonder if I'll get that treatment when I stagger home, if I make it. That finish line becomes a very attractive target after 3.5 hours of effort, so much so that some overdo it in their enthusiasm to get there. Others are just plain happy to finish and achieve whatever targets they may have set themselves. I'm almost home, and through the fatigue and pain, the Sinatra in me stirs.
Now, the end is near.
As I saw the 26-mile sign, I didn't feel sure that I could negotiate those last 385 yards. But the sight of the finish line provides the stimulus I need. None of your flying finishes for me, though. I'm flat out at this pace. But the satisfaction from finishing, especially having done it so hard, is immense. Three hours, 35 minutes, 39 is a little slower than I hoped I might do, but in a marathon you usually get what you deserve. Still, just to finish provides satisfaction, and when it's over, almost everyone's happy.
I think 12 that I've done, I've enjoyed this as much as any, and it's been a very happy experience, and I'm absolutely worn out.
Super run, nice and flat, not what we're used to. The club I run with tends to run very hilly runs, but this was a little bit easier, particularly as it was my first marathon.
Well, for the first 10 miles, scenery was lovely, but after that I just saw a little haze. I just worried about myself from there on.
Got very tiring in the end because we haven't done it before, and it's a long run when you haven't done it. For a flat course, it's really hard.
I've made it. I'm here. The only thing that feels good, I think, is a watch on my arm.
And the best part about this is that you've got them coming this way. You know, you can see each other and encourage each other twice. You know, to have 2 goes at it, it's great. See you next year.
Is this your first marathon?
Yeah, I've been running for about 3 months, so I'm really pleased with the way I've picked up and improved.
All in all, it was a good day, good run, and I enjoyed it. I'd like to go back and do a few more now.
Altogether, it was very worthwhile.
Most enjoyable run.
Catherine, you'd be pleased to see the Avon incorporated with the Nike.
Yes, it's been fantastic to be here. We felt that it was important, with so many marathons that are proliferating around Australia, to have a marathon that was accessible to women, and so joining in the Canberra event has been really good for us.
Well, it's an Olympic Games event next year. Do you gain personal gratification from that?
Absolutely. It's something I'd personally worked on for 15 years, and I'm very, very excited that the Avon program around the world has really led in many ways to developmental aspects of women's marathon in different countries. A lot of the women in 1984 running in Los Angeles will be from our program, and I'm excited that this race next year is going to be the Olympic trials, and that the first 3 women will be chosen for Australia for the Olympic team.
Do you still bump into any male hardheads who feel that members of the feminine gender shouldn't do it?
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, I'm finding that in many countries where we thought we'd run into some obstacles, like the Philippines or Brazil, even Australia, haha, no, I'm teasing, we would find some opposition, but not at all. They're very supportive. They realize, really, that health and fitness are as good for women as it is for men, and that's going a long way for us.
Well, you haven't run today. Do you still run marathons?
I don't run marathons, and I don't run competitively anymore. I try to run about 6 miles a day, 6 to 8 miles a day, and I'll run this afternoon.
Come on.
The prestige of the Nike Marathon is reflected in the fact that next year it will be the Australian Olympic Marathon trial. But for me, next week, some respite. 11 kilometres in Hobart City to Casino. In Australia, on the run.